Today we're going to be making red beans and rice. Alright, today we're making red beans and rice, which Ricky's been requesting for about 3 weeks. I have to say it's about once a week that we do some sort of bean and rice dish. We do red beans, we do pinto beans, we do black beans, but red beans and rice is Ricky's favorite. So I'm going to show y'all how we do it. So I started off with browning off, rendering a good bit of bacon. Okay. Actually, you want to know what? Secret, it's not bacon, it's hog jowl. You can find smoked hog jowl if you go look for it. So that's a very traditional southern thing. And the cool thing about that is it's a fraction of the cost of bacon. I think it's because nobody knows what to do with it. Well, this is what you do with it. And then for a true Cajun red bean and rice, you'd probably want to use an andouille, but I have a little guy who just does not do well with anything spicy at all. So I substitute a polska kielbasa, which is a smoked sausage. It just doesn't have the heat that the andouille has.
What's an andouille exactly?
Andouille is a Cajun sausage.
Oh, nice.
It's absolutely delicious, but it is a little bit spicy. And actually some of them are really spicy, which I love. I think it's wonderful. But if you're doing something like this for a mixed audience, you gotta watch the little guys. They can't handle the heat. Now I will say I've been working with Joey recently to see if we can't get his palate up to speed. But if you want to do that, a better option is to start with the poblano pepper or an Anaheim pepper. Those are very mild peppers, but they do have the same range of heat that something like a jalapeno or a serrano has, just on a much lower level. My sister and her kids are here. Joey's excited. He's talking to Lindsay. Don't you dare show that part of the kitchen. No. You know better than that. Chase was going to show you my niece Lindsay, but I didn't clean that part of the kitchen because it doesn't go on YouTube. Perfect. So all we're doing here, we took the same pot that we had rendered all the bacon grease. We rendered all that down. I got rid of the bacon grease, but to that same pot, I'm adding that sliced sausage, so we're going to capture that flavor. All I'm doing here is going to get it brown and crispy on both sides. Now back here, I have my beans, which I've done a quick soak method. Joey, thank you. I've done a quick soak method on the beans. And if you don't know what that is, or if you don't know how to brine your beans, check out the video I did a few weeks ago on how to make soup beans, because I talk all about it in that one. So, tell you what, my sausage is getting brown and crispy, and my beans are ready to go in the pot, but I need a few minutes to get these finished on both sides, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, so I browned off our kielbasa. That actually I'm just going to set aside until the dish is almost finished. And now we're going to start building our flavor base. So I've got a traditional Trinity, which is, what isn't a Trinity? It's this stuff. Onion, celery, bell pepper. And I add lots of garlic because it's delicious. And we love it. I want to show you what I did here. So I browned off the bacon and I got rid of the fat from the bacon. And then I browned off the kielbasa and it has its own fat. And then I poured off the fat from that. Yes, fat is flavor, and there are sometimes when you want to add it judiciously, but when you've got products like that that already contain a good bit of fat, you really want to make sure that what you're ending up with doesn't turn out to be greasy instead of flavorful. And because we're using the bacon, which will continue to have a little fat left in it, and the kielbasa, which will also continue to have a little bit of the fat in it, then you got plenty. And the same thing is if you use andouille, same principle applies. Alright, so our flavors that we're putting in here. We've got fresh thyme, just 2 or 3 sprigs. These are fresh bay leaves. If you use dried bay leaves, use half of this amount. So you want probably one good sized one. This is fresh oregano, a couple of tablespoons. About a teaspoon and a half of black pepper, teaspoon and a half of garlic powder, a teaspoon, I guess, of red pepper flakes. And that is about a teaspoon and a half of parsley, which you really don't need because it has no flavor. And I grabbed it because I thought it was the oregano. That goes in here. Parsley won't hurt anything. Fresh parsley is lovely, but by the time you dry it, it's kind of like, what's the point? Alright, a couple of teaspoons of salt. Oh, and I already used pepper. I don't need that. Alright, so we stir all this together. And I talked earlier about having our quick soak method or the brine method for dried beans. and that's what we've got back here. So it's just a dried bean. You'll find it on any grocery store shelf, just like that. Throw it in with salt, bring it up to a boil, turn it off, let it sit. And then you don't have to worry about letting it soak overnight, which, if you're a southerner, when you discover that, it'll change your life. Suddenly you don't have to worry about forgetting to soak your beans. It doesn't matter. All right, so I didn't have quite enough water in there. So I'm gonna add probably, well, just enough water just to cover it. With red beans and rice, you want it a little bit saucy, but this is not like soup beans, so you don't want too much. So I will put just enough water to cover it. I'm gonna bring it to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, and then I'm just gonna let it simmer for about 2 hours. If it gets too dry, I'll add just enough water to keep those beans covered. And that's really all there is to it. Almost all there is to the whole dish, okay? So I'll be back to show you what it looks like in just a few minutes. No, not 2 hours, sorry. Okay, so I know the camera angle has gone from like here to Ricky, and then Chase did it, now we're at Bladen. I thought for a while I was gonna have Lindsay. Sorry about the camera angles, but the kids have been helping me shoot this afternoon. So our red beans and rice went for a couple hours, and I just tasted a couple. Anytime you want to know if your beans are done, taste 2 or 3 out of the pot, because you might get one that was an outlier, and that's not nice. So here's how you finish it, okay? This is the sausage that we browned off earlier. Now remember, you can use andouille if people in your house can handle a little more heat. And then the bacon. And we're just stirring that in. I think I added maybe 1.5 cups to 2 cups of water when it started getting a little bit low. And I did end up covering the pot, mainly because some idiot thought it would be great for all the kids to get Nerf guns for Christmas, and they were flying everywhere. So anyway, I covered the pot so we didn't end up with bullets in here. And here's how you serve it. So just plain old white rice. And I think this is what throws people off, is thinking that the whole red beans and rice thing means that you cook the rice and the beans together. And then when you serve it, remember we had those fresh herbs in there? Just watch out for those. Or you can do what I do and tell my kids that if they find one that you should have pulled out, that they're lucky and they get to make a wish. That way you don't have to worry about it. All right, and I think the best way to finish this, can you get a good shot of that? Just a little bit of scallion, otherwise known as green onion, if you're in Tennessee. So, do me a favor, and if you found this useful, please give me a subscribe. Give me a subscription. Give me a subscribe, and hit the thumbs up button. If you've got a question, ask it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get to you as fast as I can. Find me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Pinterest. And I got a brand new page over at Patreon, so go check that out. So, red beans and rice. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Today we are, okay.
Filming.
Good. Are you gonna burp that?
No.
You could.
I could, but I'm not.
Alright, so our beef.
My name is Jack.
Can we turn off SpongeBob in the background? And remind everybody to quit stomping up and down the steps. Just give me,
Don't be doing the video.
3 minutes. No, it's good. I'll cut it out.
Okay.